be working a little bit more of some in-hand work. So Castor's done some of this before. I just didn't have a great process of teaching him. I was kind of all over the place. But he's a lot better even through that. But I've gotten a lot clearer with my cues here and of what I want from him. So hopefully you can see the difference between this video and the next video and like his previous ones. So I'm asking him my voice cue to walk on, and then I'm going to ask him with a little bit of a slight rein cue, and then I will to stop, and then I will bring up the target if he doesn't respond to that. So it's just going to be that first cue, and then he'll go ahead and stop to the target. So eventually what I want is he just responds to that rein cue. That was a lot better there. So just asking him to flex right here and stop. I probably should be feeding him a little bit further away so he's not turning his head every time, like if I want to ask for it. So I think he's walked off there on his own, so I need to be working on just balancing the behaviors of him standing still and waiting, because now he's thinking go too much, even though we did it a couple times. But that's the importance of balancing those behaviors there and there. He's kind of turning toward me. I don't really want him to do that. I'm just going to block him here. Hold on, like we're just going to stand. And then there we go. So once he stands and he's nice and straight, then I can reward that behavior. But I should have started doing that just like 30 seconds earlier. So like right after he had stopped off of the rain cues, then give him a second click and reward. And like this is perfect right now. I just should have done it a little bit earlier to where he didn't have that time where he walked off twice and is starting to practice that. I really don't want him to practice those behaviors that I don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and ask him to turn to the left there with a left rein cue, and it's going to be the same process as the stopping. So I would have him go forward. I'm going to pick up on that left rein, and then I will bring the target to the left, and then once he steps to the left, I will click and then let go of my rein cue and then stop and feed him. And then I should have again clicked and fed, so just slightly late there, but I'm doing it here. You can't really see the best from this angle, but I am clicking and feeding him for standing still. I just probably should have done it a little bit sooner before he, gets the opportunity to leave. So there I asked him to walk off, and I'm asking him to turn right. And you can't really see from there. That's not the best angle, but I should have brought my target up so that he could follow it and go to the left. So I could see why he could be confused about steering and stopping, because I'm not being super clear with my rein cues when I'm steering to the left. It kind of seems like I'm cueing to the backup, so that could be definitely confusing for him. But he did have a nice backup step there, so he is understanding the two reins mean like stop and backup. So he's a little confused here too. So I probably could have broken down the different behaviors and not mix them up so soon, because I asked him to go forward, I asked him to stand still, I asked him to back up, he turned left. So I don't think he's quite ready for all of those to be put together yet. So I should have just, we walk forward, we stop, we stand. We walk forward, we stop, we stand. Then we back up, and then, give him a little break. Then we do lots of left turn, left turn, left turn. He's just not solid enough to go left turn, back up, stop, go forward, stop, left turn. He's just not quite ready to that point. So I just kind of went a little too soon on that. Um, and that's just another like training thing. That was really nice. He stopped there off of his rein cues, so just both reins just picking up and making contact with his halter. So he is getting better, but this is also still going to be more of a critique. Like, it's better than my last few videos where we were just kind of all over the place. But once you're being very clear and you're not having, so I'm trying to steer him the opposite way. So that is one good thing I did, is he was doing left turns toward me, and now he's doing left turns away from me, so he's just turning left. So there I'm being more consistent. But like what you saw with the hosing, it was very structured, very planned, and it went pretty fast. With the riding from the ground, it wasn't super structured, and it wasn't really planned, and I wasn't really like making a great like plan for myself and for him, and like slowed down and been like, we're gonna do this and this and this. And you can tell with how many videos I have, and so many of like, okay, well, he wasn't getting it, so we changed that. He wasn't getting it, so we changed this. So it takes longer. So if you're doing something and training something with your horse, and you've done like a couple sessions and it's still pretty similar, it's the same, or it's getting worse. We need to try something else. And that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I need to just try like something extreme as to like, oh, I'm not going to use clicker training anymore. It needs to be broken down. It needs to add more steps, go slower, something like that, because he's just confused. And going and looking back at this video, you can tell he's very confused. I'm confused at what I'm doing exactly, so my horse is definitely confused. But he is trying for me that whole time, so we definitely have a lot to improve on, but you can see with each video that I'm getting better.